Hello everyone, welcome back for Timeout from Tamriel. No, we have not disappeared, no, we have not abandoned the show. We are back for the rest of the year, so you will have to endure us every week. So, today we are going to speak, of course, about the Imperial City. What else we could speak about? So, Timeout, Deltia, your turn.
Hello had to have her 4-month European vacation or something during the middle of this. So yeah, welcome back, Aloha.
Welcome back.
How was Skyrim and RL?
It was awesome. I love to swim in the fjord, in the fresh water, with the mountain around me. It's just amazing.
Okay. Anyways, we're back. So last month, basically it was just Imperial City testing. Nothing new besides what was going on in Imperial City and the changes to it. So I want to talk about Imperial City, and Aloha and I both had a first opinion video or first impression video, but we want to kind of talk about it as a group. And really, Esther, I've played it a lot more. I kind of understand it a lot more. Like I first got in there, and you're killing other players, and it's a lot of fun, but you're like, okay, what's the point? You're not really getting stones. You're not really seeing what's going on. You're not really getting access to items. You're just mindlessly killing other players. And then they changed the AP values. So basically, if you kill someone, twice within a minute, they're like worth no AP. And so there's really no point in continuing to kill other players up top.
That's because you stay up. You need to go down.
Hold on. Then I discovered the sewers. Oh my God, is that the place to be?
But of course, that's where I was the whole time.
That is where it's at. And so it's cool because you have the top area, which has a daily hub in your Alliance's home area. And you got about basically 6 dailies in each of the arenas that you can do. And the quest, now, you guys think I'm just a meatball that grinds zombies all day, which is 90% of who I am. But there's a 1% of me in there that loves the lore in this story. Especially if you read the lore book about the Dragon Guard. The story is really, really cool. And then it takes you through all the districts, all the stories, all the chain quest into the bottom of the sewer, which I will not spoil for you. But it is one hell of a fight, and it is really cool. So, Aloha, what was your experience so far?
Well, as I'm a Care Bear, I'm bad at PvP. What I did is to go in the sewers immediately. So I spent my life in the sewers with my guildies, and we had a ton of fun, and I discovered that I could get a lot of stone. It was nice. And then sometimes you had an idiot that is overpowered, that is watching you on your stream, and that is sneaking around you, following you. And what I did to fuck him up, because he was really trying to screw me, is just I grow all the mobs, and then the mobs kill me, and it didn't got my stone. I was so happy.
Oh.
Well, that's kind of adventure, and I think it's great because you really have a different level of activity when you go up. It's more PvP, it's more like a battleground. It's almost feel that way. So I know that I will lose all my stone. I'm not going there if I want to earn stone. I will go there if I want to kill people, even if I will be killed more, but whatever. But the sewers, it will be the place where you will have more chance to get those stones. There's a lot of tough PvE fights. The boss are very tough, so if you do whatever, you will also die. You need to play carefully. But what's really nice is to see you cannot expect what will happen, and there's always something new, something unexpected. It's really, really well made on that point.
And Citrix, what has your experience been?
My experience has been a little limited. I had problems with my PTS install, and I haven't been able to get it straightened out, so I didn't get to play too terribly much. But I got probably 4 or 5 hours in the first couple nights, and really was just kind of running around out, in the outside, ganking people, getting ganked. Having a lot of fun figuring out how how that aspect of Imperial City is going to play out. Spent some time. I've been running a Magicka Nightblade build that I like for over a year now, and I've got a character that I'm bringing up on DC that's basically going to replicate that. And I just spent some time, on the PTS, kind of working with that, seeing how it's going to work, what I'm going to change, that sort of stuff. But what I'm seeing, or what I have found with what I saw doing that kind of small scale skirmish PvP type stuff, is that I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. I like the fact that the battles are so much smaller. I really like the fact I don't have to worry about dodging frickin' fire ballista all over the place. So I have a feeling...
No siege.
Yeah, no siege is huge. Absolutely huge. I mean, I don't mind siege out in Cyrodiil. It's there's a place for it, but when it becomes siege versus siege, we can go on about that for a long time. But I'm going to really enjoy not having to worry about it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. PvP aspect is fantastic, but early on, to a lowest point, is there's no reason to do it. Like, you just kill and you're having fun, you're killing people, and you realize, oh, I have 100 stones. Mm-hmm. And there's just really no incentive to continue doing it. And then you go down the sewers, and you do the dailies, and...
You don't like to kill people? I mean...
I do, but I'm a gamer that wants incentives, right? And so if I go in Cyrodiil, and I still go kill people, I'm getting AP, I'm advancing my alliance rank. And you can still do that while you're in Imperial City, but it's just so small, because the same people are respawning over and over and over. And at some point, it becomes... They have no stones. You have all their stones if you keep killing them. There's no disincentive for them just to YOLO out and try killing you over and over and over. And it becomes like you're just killing slaughterfish at that point. Or you're on the other end of that, and there's just so many people killing you over and over that eventually the meta will change, is what I'm trying to say. Once people start figuring out how you actually acquire the stones. And then it'll be really fun, because you'll have organic, natural fights. Like, I'll tell you one story. Is the very first time we were exploring the sewers, we're got a huge group, 12 people, and we're going to go through every single thing in the sewer and just check it out. And it was really, really fun, killing bosses, randomly killing people with sky shards. And we get to the bottom. I'm not going to tell you what's down there, but we get to the bottom, and there's 8 AD down there. And so they already started this event, and we get in there, and we naturally just... It was a natural PvP fight. It would be like Kragnorn killing someone when they're questing a group. It's what Kragnorn should have been. And it was so cool to see that type of PvP, where it's just like, boom, you just come up against each other, and you got to figure it out. Whoever wins, wins. And it's organic, it's natural, and it's cool. There's no siege. You can quickly get into the fight. If you just want to play PvP, literally player versus player, just go kill each other, you can do it all day, every second of the day. Click, respawn, go fight. Click, respawn, go fight. And it gives you that adrenaline rush that, arenas, typical real arenas do. And then last thing, because I'm rambling here, is I really, really, really commend ZOS for listening to feedback. They went into this hard thinking that they were going to have these strict campaign rules where you had to have 6 of your home keeps before you could even access it. And then everyone was saying, please don't, no, I shouldn't say everyone, a large majority were saying, yeah, please don't do that, because we like the free-for-all action. And so they said, okay, maybe eventually we'll open up a hardcore campaign or this and that, but it's just fun to get in there and fight.
Yeah, the thing is with the gating, what it will have created, they wanted to remove the server buff, and that's what will have created. You will have new server buff just to get access to Imperial City. So it was extremely important for the metagaming of the guild politics and the alliance politic, and some faction will have been screwed. In North America, it's the Daggerfall Covenant that is in trouble, unless Deltia is fighting with all his nuggets, of course. But when he's not, when he's in holidays or whatever,
or grinding,
or sleep, then Daggerfall Covenant is screwed, and in Europe it's the Ebonheart Pact that's screwed.
What?
Yeah,
they don't have Skyrim fanboys in Europe.
Yeah, but apparently it's the people that have left the game the fastest, and also you had the alliance between the Daggerfall Covenant and the Almeri Dominion, or so I heard.
That's little handshake pact. Okay,
that's acting against them, and that kind of stuff. That's also something I wanted to talk about. Imperial City on the PTS was extremely fun, and you see the potential this DLC have, but you don't know what's going on, because it's so much sandboxy that you don't really know how the players will play the game, what they will organize, how they will organize themselves. Will they make big alliance? Will they be cheating? You know, players do not really play fair play, unfortunately. So there might be some stuff that will screw the game, that will make it less fun. And that's something, it's a risk that ZeniMax is taking, because they let a lot of openness in their game, in their concept, where players can enjoy themselves. What Blizzard is not doing it this game. Blizzard is a company that gates very much its game, so you can just follow the rules, do that. You don't really have so much liberty, but you know that the experience will be relatively fair and balanced, because the game is so strict. So we will have to see. It might happen that the community ruin the fun.
Yeah, but I like that there's 2 levels to it. And, like, you can't be everywhere at once. You can't... And so the people that ruin the fun, per se, they can't be everywhere at once. They can't be in every campaign. They can't be in every zone. They can't be in everywhere at once. And so I think there'll be enough places to go hide out. Because remember, Imperial City is instance per your campaign.
Yeah.
I know that not a lot of people know that, but it's like, it's not just one Imperial City. There's going to be many. Meaning, some of them are going to be dead. There's no more buff campaigns anymore. There's no more campaign buffs, only when you're in there. That's a huge positive change to limit people actually diversifying and making more than one campaign active. Now, what I do really, really like about it is that it's not instance-based, where, like Kragorn, you could only have 4 players go into something. Not here, because the only thing you could do as a guild is, if you have 4 players, you can do dungeons. If you have 12, you can do trials. If you have anywhere in between that or over that, you have to do PvP. That's it. That's it. That's all you can do with a big guild. Or have another trials group, but you have to wait for 24 people. This is the in-between that you can do. You can get your PvE, you can do PvP, just that, if you want. It's the in-between that I love about this.
Yeah, and the sewers is really PvE-ish more than PvP. So the players that do not really like PvP, they can go in the sewer and be pretty safe. If they really want to be safe, they stay in the first area of the sewer with a big group, and they should not have too many trouble. I might find some gankers, but they should be safe.
You're a level 1 day, so you just put that short shank.
You know, it's what's nice that so many players were afraid that this DLC will be so PvP oriented, but we can see that the PvE players, and including the players that are really Care Bears, they can have fun. There's plenty of content for everyone, for every taste. That's great.
Okay, one last thing I want to talk about, because, you know, I know you're the environment person, like the style and the feel of it now. I've done both dungeons. I've done, you know, every single district. I've explored the sewers, and there was like a jaw drop moment. Not only in the bottom, which, you know, I don't want to explore. You got to see the bottom, anyways. But there's, like, I forget what it is. I think it's the not memorial, but there's one where the NPCs literally start screaming, "There's danger at the front of the gate!"
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, I'm looking around, like, no. I'm like, that's an NPC. I'm like, who said that? And like, people are like, what we're talking about? Who said that? I'm like, who the hell just said NPCs at the gate? That was so cool. That, like, it was so interactive. It's like, that's what Elder Scrolls is. Is like, you feel you're a part of something. It makes you feel like that. The environment does.
I had the same thing say, hey, there's voice chat here? They have included voice chat on PC? And then, oh no!
You're looking around like...
Yeah, exactly.
That was so cool. I couldn't believe that happened. That was like... That was awesome for me. And then there's another area in there where there's, like, meat catapults, and it's just constantly flinging just crap at the Imperial City. And you get the whole feeling of it, like the Daedric buildup of Imperial City. If you go back to, you know, the earlier games, Morrowind, Oblivion, or whatever, you kind of feel like this is the Imperial City. And the environment is so interactive and cool. The mobs, they have the roving big-ass sweeper guys, whatever they call them. They just, like, nuke everyone, and you're in the middle of a huge PvP battle, and this big, nasty, troll-looking zombie comes in, everyone's running.
Ah,
if you-
yeah.
everyone's running. It's just clubbing people. Which brings another point up, which is the builds and creativity that this brings to the table. Because it's not just PvE. You have to have a build that can do it all now. I mean, you actually might need a tank to roll around in PvP just in case you need to taunt something.
Right.
So I think, I mean, at first I didn't see the incentive to continue playing this, and now I do after playing and understanding how you get in and get out. So I'm really, really excited about it, and like I'm so ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, and you had mentioned, talking about the environment and like the NPCs yelling about the data at the gate and everything. And one thing, I mean, that we've been able to give ZOS credit for since the game came out is their attention to detail and making it look like a living world. But you can see as they release more content, if you look at the magnitude of the art when Craglorn came out, they stepped up their game. And then now with Imperial City, I mean, if you look at the detail, like really just look at the graphical, the art, the art detail,
Sound, music.
the sound, exactly. I mean, if you look at all that stuff, they are just increasing that bar. They're raising it higher and higher every time they go.
And the two dungeons.
It's amazing to see how they're, they were great to begin with as far as attention to detail, and it's just, I mean, they keep getting better at it. It's crazy.
And the dungeons are great. They're hard, and they introduce new fun mechanics that it was like lockpicks in a dungeon. Okay.
Yeah.
Got me there.
And they are gorgeous. Also, just the way they build it. I don't want to talk about the White Tower, which is very special, and I don't want to give any spoilers because you will be
the blue and black
surprised.
tower.
Yeah, but the Imperial prison, I thought it would be something a little bit boring. I mean, we have seen Banished Cell already, but it was just amazingly. The environment is so cool. Sometimes you have so very, very small hole. It's almost that your character's head is hitting the roof, and it feels so claustrophobic. And then it's open up on different room, which is completely crazy. I have been really stunned by those dungeon, and the fight is super fun. The last boss of the White Tower is my favorite of all time. It's so fun.
Really?
Yeah, it's so fun. I really like this fight. I like the mechanic.
The fight is beautiful. Like the knockback, the very first time
Yes,
the knockback.
that's
I'm
what.
not gonna say it, but the very first time the knockback happened, I'm just like,
What?
looking at the screen. If you do the hard mode, it's like it's cool, and it's hard as hell. It is hard as hell. But yeah, I mean, what's our last topic? We've been rambling for a while, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, 17 minutes already.
Okay. What's our number one favorite thing about Imperial City? Citrix, go first.
For me, all I've been doing in the game lately has just been running around trying to kill people, and I think it's going to be that, and it's gonna, it's the new dynamic that comes with it of having to protect, what stones that I have. So I think that'll be a cool little, kind of like metagame inside of, my normal just running around trying to kill people before they kill me type thing.
Okay.
So I'll get to the dungeons. I got to level up my DC characters, a little bit before I spend a lot of time doing that. But yeah.
Aloha?
I'm hesitating between the sewers and the dungeon because the dungeon are so amazing, and that's my kind of favorite content. But the sewers is so fun. It lets so much flexibility of what you're doing. It will always be something different. And like you said, Altia, you can go with a group of 6 people. If you don't have enough or too much for a dungeon event, well, you take the 6 people and let's go in the sewers. Let's go to Silverstone. Way.
Yay.
And all more are kind of cool, even if they are not always. Well, you can use.
There's some
those-
really good sets. There's
Yeah.
some really good sets. All right, I guess me is like it feels like an MMO finally. There's enough stuff to do for everyone. Getting to that point, a year or two in, that it's not going to be for everyone. But you got your Cyrodiil, you got your Dragonstar Arena, you got your Trials, you got your Imperial City now. There's so many like play spaces. And Imperial City it's big. It's a monster, and so there's enough things to do in this game where you can't get it all done in one day. And that's what every MMO should have, is there's so much stuff to do Like, do I collect my Telebar stones? Do I do my crafting rates? Do I do my PvP dailies? Do I do my PvE dailies? That's the question you got to answer as a gamer. Is there's so much stuff to do? I can't do it all in one day. That's when you know you have a good MMO in your hands. Is that you have to keep playing it. You have to do one more quest. You have to kill one more person in PvP to get that alliance point. You have to get one more stone to get that new piece of gear. It's that carrot in front of you that you're always chasing. That's a good MMO, and the environment is awesome for it. I'm going to be spending a lot of time as I got my VR14 sword, baby. 38 hours. VR14. I'm going to go pass out now, but
Crazy.
Okay, next week, the new subject we are speaking. We are giving you the choice, guys, between developer interaction or interface. What do you want we talk about? You vote now in the comment below.
developer interaction, like having Rich Lambert as the boss and kind of seeing what's going on with streams, and they're doing dev let's plays sporadically, and then interface like Aloha. That's her big thing, is having combat techs and what's going on, and I think that could spark a really interesting conversation as well, where Aloha gets mad at me basically.
Both. We'll see both.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, guys, to have watched. See you next
Thanks.
time. Bye bye.
Thank you much. Bye bye.